Have you ever looked around and felt different? Not in a dramatic way, not in a something is wrong with me way, but in a quiet, subtle, almost confusing way, as if you're walking through the world slightly out of sync with everyone else. You notice things others don't. You feel things others overlook. And sometimes you even wonder, why can't I just fit in like everyone else? If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Because there's a reason you feel this way, and it's often rooted in traits that are rare, overlooked, and misunderstood. Today, we'll explore 5 of those traits in depth. By the end, you'll not only understand why you feel different, you might even start to see these traits as a source of quiet strength, something that sets you apart in a meaningful way. So, settle in and let's begin. 1. You notice what others miss, and it shapes your world. There's a part of you that pays attention, deeply. Where other people rush past life, you catch the tiny things, the subtle tension in a room, the micro-expressions on someone's face, the way a small gesture reveals more than words ever could. This awareness is a gift, but it can also feel isolating. Because when your mind is noticing layers of life that others ignore, you can feel like you're living in a slightly different reality. You walk into a party, everyone's laughing, chatting, scrolling on their phones, but your attention is drawn to one person sitting quietly in the corner, fidgeting, unsure. You pick up the unspoken tension instantly, and instinctively, you feel a pull to understand what's going on. Most people wouldn't even notice this. And yet, your brain is wired to absorb it, to reflect on it, to analyze it, to feel it. Next time you feel out of place, notice the small details you're seeing that others might miss. This is a window into your unique perspective, a perspective that gives depth to your understanding of the world. And this hyper-awareness isn't just about noticing external things. It also affects how you feel inside, leading to the next trait, emotional depth. 2. You experience emotions more deeply than most people. You don't just feel things, you experience them. Joy, sadness, empathy, guilt, awe. You feel these emotions in layers. This intensity can be beautiful, but it can also feel overwhelming. Because in a world where most people skim their emotions, your feelings linger, they echo, they demand attention. Imagine someone makes a passing comment, seemingly trivial, even funny. You replay it in your mind for hours, analyzing every nuance, every tone, every possible meaning. It's not overthinking, it's processing life fully. Most people are conditioned to move on quickly, to suppress or ignore subtle emotional signals, but you aren't. You attend to them, and that makes your experience richer, but sometimes lonelier. And this heightened emotional awareness shapes your relationships in subtle ways, leading us to the 3rd trait. You struggle with surface-level connections. You've probably noticed, small talk drains you. Shallow interactions feel like masks you're forcing yourself to wear. It's not that you dislike people, you simply crave authenticity. You want conversations that matter, discussions that touch on life, meaning, purpose, and emotion. At a gathering, people chat about the latest TV shows or gossip about colleagues. Your mind drifts, you feel disconnected. But when the conversation shifts to someone's personal growth, dreams, or fears, suddenly you're present, engaged, alive. Most social settings reward light, easy, surface-level communication. Your mind, however, operates at depth. You're wired to connect meaningfully. Think about friendships that fade over time. Often, it's not that you don't care, it's that casual interactions don't fulfill you. You need substance, and when it's missing, you naturally drift away. This need for deeper connection also interacts with your natural independence, the 4th trait we're about to explore. 4. You think independently, even when it's lonely. You don't follow the crowd just because everyone else is moving. You pause, you reflect, you evaluate. This independent mindset isn't rebellion, its clarity, its intentionality. You want to understand life on your own terms. When everyone rushes to adopt the latest trend, idea, or opinion, you hesitate. You analyze, question, and form your own conclusion. You don't blindly accept beliefs, you examine them. Independent thinkers can feel detached, unconventional, even isolated, because their minds operate on another frequency, one that prizes insight over conformity. Think about the times you felt misunderstood because of your choices. Chances are, those choices were guided by thoughtfulness, not defiance. And this independence leads to a final, deeply overlooked trait, one that shapes your path in life more than anything else. 5. You outgrow people and environments quickly. This trait can feel lonely, but it's not a flaw, it's growth. As you evolve emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, you naturally outgrow situations, relationships, and even entire social circles. Real-life example. You reconnect with an old friend and notice that your conversations no longer align. They stay the same, comfortable in routines. You've changed your priorities, your values, your mindset, and it becomes clear that some people are no longer part of your journey. Growth rarely happens in groups. Most people evolve slowly, but some of us grow in leaps, and that leap creates a natural distance. At work, you might feel stagnant while others around you seem content. In friendships, you might feel disconnected because your inner world has expanded beyond what's familiar. Even hobbies or interests can feel outdated quickly as your mind seeks new perspectives. Instead of seeing this as being different, consider it a sign of your personal evolution. It means you're constantly becoming a more authentic version of yourself, even if it feels lonely at times. Notice a pattern here. All 5 traits are connected. Awareness fuels emotional depth. Emotional depth drives the need for meaningful connection. Meaningful connection is hard, leading to independence. Independence accelerates growth. Growth separates you from the crowd. These traits are not isolated quirks. They form a complex, integrated way of being that is rare, often misunderstood, and profoundly human. Think about how these traits show up in your daily life. You notice subtle social cues at work. You deeply empathize with a friend's struggle. You avoid shallow conversations and crave meaning. You make decisions based on your own insights, not trends. You naturally drift from old connections as you evolve. This interconnection explains why you often feel out of place, but also why your presence is quietly impactful. Honor your awareness. Take time to notice the details you see and feel. Journaling or reflection can help you understand your unique perspective. Validate your emotions. Feeling deeply isn't a weakness, it's a superpower that allows you to experience life fully. Seek meaningful connections, quality over quantity. Surround yourself with people who value depth and authenticity. Celebrate independence. Your insights are valuable. Trust your judgment even when it differs from the majority. Embrace growth. Understand that outgrowing people, places, and habits is part of your journey, not a failure. If you've resonated with these traits, here's something crucial. Feeling different doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It often means you're more aware, more intuitive, more emotionally attuned, and more thoughtful than most. These traits are your quiet strengths. They shape your depth, wisdom, empathy, and authenticity. They explain why life sometimes feels isolating, but also why your perspective is valuable. And if you've ever felt like you don't belong, maybe it's because you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to understand yourself deeply and walk through the world with clarity, awareness, and empathy. You are not alone. You are rare. You are growing, and that is something remarkable. Remember, the world doesn't always recognize depth immediately, but it notices it over time, and your journey with all its traits and insights is quietly transforming you into someone extraordinary.